Hello friends. Now in this video I will explain answers of all questions given in this exercise. Now let us start. The first question is match the first column with appropriate entries in the second and third column and remake the table. Now let us start. The first is negative acceleration. Now from the second column, which is the correct? Here for the negative acceleration, the velocity of object decreases, and from the third column, a car initially at rest reaches a velocity of 50 km per hour in 10 seconds. A vehicle is moving with a velocity of 25 meter per second, and third, a vehicle moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second stops after 5 seconds, and this is the correct. Okay, and therefore the correct pairs are: the first is negative acceleration, next the velocity of the object decreases, and for the from the third column, a vehicle moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second stops after 5 seconds. For the second, from the first column, the second question is positive acceleration. Okay, and already we have completed here the velocity of object decreases. For the positive acceleration, the velocity of object increases. This is the correct. Okay, and from the third one, a car initially at rest. A car initially at rest reaches a velocity of 50 km per hour in 10 seconds. This is the correct. Therefore, the correct pairs are, that is a from the first column, positive acceleration. Next, the velocity of the object increases. Okay. Next, third one, a car initially at rest reaches a velocity of 50 km per hour in 10 seconds. And the last is zero acceleration. Now, which is the correct? It's clear that the velocity of the object remains constant. This is the correct one. And here from the column 3, a vehicle is moving with a velocity of 25 meter per second. Now see this the correct answers here. For the first negative acceleration, the correct is velocity of object decreases. Next, in column third, a vehicle moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second stops after 5 seconds. For the second one, positive acceleration. The velocity of object increases. A car initially at rest reaches a velocity of 50 km per hour in 10 seconds. And for third one, zero acceleration. The velocity of the object remains constant. Okay, a vehicle is moving with a velocity of 25 meter per second, and this is the correct one. Okay, now the next question. Clarify the differences. Now the first is distance and displacement. First differentiate या ठिकाणी आपण बघणार आहोत. Now the first point, distance is the length of the actual path followed by a body between the points under consideration. Second, here for the displacement, displacement is the shortest distance from the initial point to the final point of movement of a body. Second, it does not have direction. It has direction. We know that. आपल्याला असं माहिती आहे की डिस्टन्स ही स्केलर क्वांटिटी आहे and displacement is the vector quantity. Its magnitude is greater than or equal to that of displacement. Its magnitude is less than or equal to that of distance. अजून या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला लिहिता येईल distance is scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Okay, now the next, Uniform motion, non-uniform motion. First, a body is said to have uniform motion when it covers equal distances in very small equal time intervals. Means what? Equal distances in equal interval of time, and here we consider mostly that very small equal time intervals. And for non-uniform motion, a body is said to have non-uniform motion when it covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Second, in this case, the speed of the body is constant, and here for non-uniform motion, in this case, the speed of the body is not constant. Okay, and this is the distinguish between uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, now next, complete the following table. See this here. The first, we have given u means what? Initial velocity. Its unit is a meter per second. U is equals to 2. A is equals to 4, that is the acceleration. Its unit is meter per second square. T is 3 second. And what is the first equation of motion? V is equals to u plus at, and its unit of V is a meter per second. We want to calculate the value of V. Now see this here. It's very interesting. यामध्ये आपल्याला u ची व्हॅल्यू दिली त्याने u is equals to 2, a is equals to 4, t is equals to 3. We want to find out v. Therefore, first equation v is equals to u plus at. U means what? 2 plus a is a 4 into 3, and hence 4 into 3 means what? 12. 2 plus 12, then therefore v is equals to 14 meter per second, and this is the final velocity. Okay. For the next, we have here a is equals to 5, t is equals to 2, v is equals to 20. We want to find out u is equals to. Okay. पुन्हा तोच फॉर्म्युला या ठिकाणी घेणार. v is equals to u plus at. v means what? 20 is equals to u plus a is a 5 t2, and simplify it. That is a 20 is equals to u plus 10, and therefore u is equals to 20 minus 10, and hence you will get u is equals to 10 meter per second. And here we will complete your table. The first is 14 आणि या ठिकाणी इथे किती आहे ना? The 10. Okay. Now the next, here u is equals to 5, a is equals to 10, t is equals to 3, and this is the second kinematical equation. S is equals to ut plus 1 upon 2 at square. This is the distance, it is in meter. We want to find out this. Okay. Now the first, yeah, u is equals to 5, a is equals to 12, t is equals to 3, s is equals to question mark. S is equals to ut plus 1 upon 2 at square. This is the first kinematical equation. That is, u is a 5, t is 3, 1 upon 2. Substitute the values. या values इथे substitute करणार. 1 upon 2, a is a 12, and t square means what? 3 square, and hence 5 into 3, 15. Okay, now next simplification. That is a 12 upon 2. You will get here 6. 3 square means what? 9. 6 into 9, 54 plus 15. Okay, and that total is 69. Therefore, distance s is equals to 69. This is the first answer. For the second, u ची व्हॅल्यू दिली त्याने आपल्याला 7. a find out करायचे आपल्याला. t is equals to 4 and s is equals to 92. Okay, now see this here. u is equals to 7, a is equals to 2, t is equals to 4, s is equals to 92. Use this formula, substitute the values. s के लिए था 92 है. Next, u is equals to 7 and t is 4. 7 into 4 plus 1 upon 2. The value of a, we want to find out it. Okay, and t is a 4, that is a 4 square. Therefore, 92 is equals to 7 into 4, 28 plus 1 upon 2. A into 4 square means what? 16. याला इथे divide करणार. Okay, then you will get 8a. That is a 92 minus 28 is equals to 8a. 92 minus 28 is equals to 8a. The subtraction is 64 is equals to 8a, and hence a is equals to 64 upon 8. Simplify करना थे, then you will get a is equals to 8. This is the acceleration. Okay. and hence we have completed this table. Now next, here u is equals to 4, a is equals to 3, s is equals to question mark. Now note that this is the third kinematical equation. V square is equals to u square plus 2as. Okay, and its unit is a meter per second. Okay, now the first, here u is equals to 4, a is equals to 3, and here v is equals to 8. इथे v consider करणार. Okay, now the v square is equals to u square plus 2as equation. Substitute the value. Value of v is 8 square. U म्हणजे किती? The 4 square plus 2. A is a 3 into s. Therefore 64 is equals to 16 plus 6x. 64 minus 16 is equals to 6x. 6x is equals to 48, and therefore s is equals to 48 upon 6. Okay, and hence the first is s is equals to 8. Now the next, u is equals to, we want to find out, a is equals to 5, and here s is equals to 8.4. Okay, and v is equals to 10. By mistake here it is not 9, that is equals to s. Okay, इथे s consider करा तो तुम्ही तो. V square is equals to u square plus 2s. Substitute the value. V ची व्हॅल्यू किती दिली त्याने? तर 10. इट्स अ 10 स्क्वेअर. u is equals to question marks. u find out करायचं आपल्याला. u square is as it is plus 2, a is 5, s is 8.4, and after simplification 10 square is 100 is equals to u square. आता इथे मल्टिप्लिकेशन करणार. 2 into 5 10, 10 into 8.4 means what? 84, and hence you will get here u square is equals to 100 minus 84, and hence u square is equals to 16, that is u is equals to 4. Okay, and this is the initial velocity. Now we complete the table. The value of s is 8, and the value of u is equals to 4. Okay, and in this way we have completed the question number 3. Complete the sentences and explain them. Okay, now the first, the minimum distance between the start and finish point of the motion of an object is called, this is the definition of displacement. Okay, deceleration is dash dash acceleration. So clear that it is a negative acceleration. When an object is in uniform circular motion, its velocity changes. It's a dash dash. Its dash dash means what? Velocity changes at every point. And the last is during collision. What is the dash dash remain constant? That is the momentum remains constant. आता इथे आपण करेक्ट आन्सर्स लिहिणार सगळीकडे. The working of a rocket depends on Newton's third law of motion. Okay, आता फर्स्ट बघणार आपण इथे fill in the blanks. त्यामध्ये करेक्ट आन्सर काय? The displacement. This is the definition of displacement. The minimum distance between the start and finish point of the motion of an object is called displacement of the object. Nanta. Next, deceleration is a negative acceleration. When an object is in motion, object in circular motion, its velocity changes at every point due to direction. Okay. Next, during collision, total momentum remains constant. The working of a rocket depends on Newton's third law of motion. Okay. Now next, scientific reasons. The first is, when an object falls freely to the ground, its acceleration is uniform. Okay. Now the first is, when an object falls freely, the only force acting on the object is that due to Earth's gravity. Okay. Next is, near the Earth's surface, this force on a given object is practically uniform. Hence, an object falling freely to the ground has almost a uniform acceleration. a sentence important है. This force on an object is practically uniform, and hence an object falling freely to the ground has almost a uniform acceleration. Now the next question. Even though the magnitudes of action force and reaction force are equal and their directions are opposite, their effects do not get cancelled. Okay. Action and reaction forces acts on different bodies. Okay. And hence, though their magnitudes are equal and directions are opposite, their effects do not get cancelled. Okay. They acts on different bodies and hence their effects do not get cancelled. Okay. Now the next question. It is easier to stop a tennis ball as compared to a cricket ball when both are traveling with the same velocity, and this is depends on the law of conservation of momentum, or it depends on the momentum of the ball. First, the momentum of a body is the product of its mass and velocity. Okay, the mass of cricket ball is greater than that of tennis ball, and hence, if both balls have the same velocity, the momentum of the cricket ball will be greater than that of tennis ball, and hence, also, a cricket ball is harder than a tennis ball. Therefore, it is easy to stop a tennis ball than a cricket ball moving with the same velocity. Cricket ball कसा तो hard असतो and it has a greater mass than the tennis ball. The momentum of cricket ball is greater than that of the tennis ball, and hence the answer. Okay, now the next question. See this here. इथे सहज तो कॅच करतोय टेनिस बॉल, but what about the cricket ball? It is hard to catch because it has the mass, at the same time it has the velocity. Okay, now the next. The velocity of an object at rest is considered to be uniform. Okay, the first is the velocity of an object at rest is always zero, and thus it does not change with time. Hence, it is considered to be uniform. Okay, now next. Take 5 examples from your surrounding and give explanation based on Newton's laws of motion. Now the first example, an air-filled balloon held in hand when released moves forward. This is in accordance with Newton's third law of motion. See this here, when we release it, it moves in forward direction. Okay, now the explanation. As air is released out in downward direction, it applies equal and opposite force on balloon, pushing it in upward direction, that is it upward. Okay, see this here again. As air is released out in downward direction, it applies equal and opposite force on balloon, pushing it forward. This is the first example. Now next, example 2. A carpet when lifted up and given jerk, dust falls out of it. This is in accordance with Newton's first law of motion. इथे इनर्शियाचं एक्झाम्पल या ठिकाणी कन्सिडर करणार आपण. When we dust a carpet by lifting it, the carpet is set into motion. Now, when the dust remains in its state of rest due to inertia, okay, inertia of rest. Next, as a result, dust particles get separated from carpet, fall down under the effect of gravitational force, and carpet becomes clean. Okay. Now, third example. While catching a ball, cricketer moves his hands backward. This is in accordance with Newton's second law of motion. Now, this is the interesting example. Explanation. In the act of catching the ball कॅच करताना कॅच घेतल्यानंतर आपण ते दोन्ही हात कसे बॅकवर्ड डिरेक्शनने घेत असतो. इन द ऍक्ट ऑफ कॅचिंग द बॉल by drawing hands backward, cricketer allows longer time for his hand to stop the ball. As time increases, the momentum of that ball decreases. Okay. By the Newton's second law of motion, force applied depends on the rate of change of momentum. Taking longer time to stop the ball ensures smaller rate of change of momentum. Okay, and hence due to this, the cricketer can stop the ball by applying smaller amount of force and thereby not hurting his hands. Okay, now the next example. When we are traveling by bus, we experience backward jerk as the bus starts moving from rest. This is in accordance with Newton's first law of motion. Now it's an explanation. A body resists change in its state of rest or of uniform motion due to its inertia. Okay. When the bus is at rest, inside the bus we are also at rest. As the bus starts moving, the portion of our body which is in contact with the bus acquires velocity, but the upper part of the body tries to remain at rest. Okay, as a result, we exert inertia of rest and get backward jerk when the bus moves in forward direction. Okay, now the next example number 5. A book kept on a table remains stationary. This is in accordance with Newton's third law of motion. Explanation. A book on a table has some weight. This weight is the force acting on the table. Okay. By Newton's third law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Thus, the table also exerts an upward force on the book and balances the weight. As both the forces are balanced, there is no displacement. Hence, a book kept on a table remains stationary. Now, the next question. Solve the following examples. First, an object moves 18 meter in the first 3 seconds, 22 meter in the next 3 seconds, 14 meter in last 3 seconds. What is its average speed? The first is S1 is equals to 18 meter, T1 is 3, S2 is 22 meter, T2 is 3 second, S3 is 14 meter, T3 is 3 second. Then what about the average speed? Average speed means what? Total distance covered upon total required time. Okay. And here the formula for the average speed is total distance travel upon total time taken, and that is a S1 plus S2 plus S3 upon T1 plus T2 plus T3. 18 meters plus 22 meters plus 14 meter upon 3 plus 3 plus 3, and you will get here that is a 54 upon 9 meter per second, that is equals to 6 meter per second, and this is the average speed of the object, that is a 6 meter per second. Now next, an object of mass 16 kilogram moving with an acceleration of 3 meter per second square. Calculate the applied force. If the same force is applied on an object of mass 24 kilogram, how much will be the acceleration? Okay. Now here m1 is 16 gram, a1 is 3 meter per second square, f is question mark, m2 is 24 kilogram. We want to find out a2. Okay. Now see this here. f1 is equals to m1 into a1, that is a 16 into 3, that is equals to 48. The force acting on the object is 48 Newton. F is equals to another F F is equals to m2 into a2, and therefore a2 is equals to F upon m2, that is a 48 Newton upon 24 kilogram, and then you will get here 2 meter per second square. From the first condition, we are finding the force, and this same force is applied on another object की ज्याचं मास किती आहे 24 kg आहे आणि त्यावरून आपण काय फाइंड आउट करतो इथे acceleration फाइंड आउट करतो and therefore from these two given quantities we will find out the force and again use the formula for again the force F is equals to m2 into a2. Same force आपण apply करतो इथे, therefore the value of AP is 48 but mass is different which is 24. तोच फोर्स आपण दुसऱ्या ऑब्जेक्ट वरती अप्लाय करत आहोत की ज्याचं मास किती आहे 24 kg आहे. फर्स्ट गिवन डाटावरून आपण फोर्स फाइंड आउट करतोय आणि तोच फोर्स आपण सेकंड ऑब्जेक्ट वरती अप्लाय केल्यानंतर वी कॅन फाइंड आउट इट्स एक्सेलरेशन दॅट a2 is equals to 2 meter per second square. Okay, therefore the acceleration of the object is 2 meter per second square. Now the next, a bullet having a mass of 10 gram and moving with a speed of 1.5 meter per second penetrate a thick wooden plank of mass 90 gram. The plank was initially at rest. The bullet gets embedded. पुन्हा त्या plank मध्ये ती जाणार embedded in the plank and both move together. Okay. Determine their velocity. Plank means what? इथे मराठीत जर सांगायचं झालं तर जाड लाकडी फळी या ठिकाणी होणार. A bullet, again I will repeat the problem. A bullet having a mass of 10 gram and moving with a speed of 1.5 meter per second and therefore here m1 is equals to 10 gram. ते आपण किलोग्राम मध्ये कन्वर्ट करणार. To convert the gram into kilogram we will multiply here 10 raised to minus 3, that is a 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, the gram will be converted into kilogram. The velocity of the bullet is 1.5 meter per second. Okay, m2 that is equals to 90 gram, that is a 90 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram. वुडन प्लॅंक म्हणजे जाड लाकडी फळी या ठिकाणी कन्सिडर केलेले थिक वुडन plank. Okay, ut is equals to initially that plank was rest and therefore here we are taking its initial velocity u2 is equals to 0. म्हणजे ती गोळी त्या थिक वुडन प्लॅंक वरती काय करणार तिथे आपटणार ती. and here what's next happening, both plank and the bullet both are moving with the same velocity and therefore the final velocity of the bullet and the final velocity of the thick wooden plank, that is a v2, both are same. Okay, therefore by the law of conservation of momentum m1 u1 plus m2 into u2 is equals to m1 into v1 plus m2 into v2. As u1 is equals to 0 meter per second, but it is not the u1, it is u2, which is the velocity of thick wooden plank. Okay, by mistake it is a u1. Therefore, you consider here u2 is equals to 0 meter per second, and v1 is equals to v2 is equals to v. If we substitute the value of u2 is equals to 0, this quantity will become 0. Therefore, m1 into u1 is equals to, here, m1 into v plus m2 into v. From these two, we will take v as a common. And इथे काय होणार? The velocity of thick wooden plank is 0, and therefore m2 into u2 is 0. Therefore, we will get m1 into u1 is equals to m1 plus m2 bracket complete into v. Okay. Now next, या व्हॅल्यूज आहेत आपल्याला दिलेल्या m1, u1 and m2. Therefore, v is equals to m1 into u1 upon m1 plus m2. Now see this is the calculation. हे कॅल्क्युलेशन कसं केलंय ते बघा. इथे 10⁻³ आहे. डिनोमिनेटरला देखील 10⁻³ आणि इथे देखील 10⁻³. या दोघांतनं 10⁻³ कॉमन काढणार. न्यूमरेटर मधलं 10⁻³ 10⁻³ गेट कॅन्सल हिअर. ओके. डिनोमिनेटर मधनं आपण 10⁻³ जर कॉमन घेतला, then you will get here 10 plus 90, 10 gram, 10 kilogram plus 90 gram. Okay. And this is a 10⁻³ 10⁻³ get cancelled. That is a 10 into 1.5, and to the denominator 10 plus 90, that is 100. Okay. Now the next calculation, पुन्हा इथे simplification करणार. 10 into 1.5, that makes 15. 15 upon 100, that is nothing but 0.15. Okay. 15 upon 100 means what? 2 decimal आपण इथे left ला जाणार, and that will become 0.15 meter per second, and hence the speed with which the plank containing the bullet moves with the velocity of 0.15 meter per second. की जी बुलेट त्या प्लॅंक थिक वुडन प्लॅंक मध्ये जी गेलेली आहे ते दोन्ही एकाच स्पीडने पुढे जातील. and what's its velocity? Its velocity is a 0.15 meter per second. Okay. Now the next question. A person swims 100 meter in the first 10 second, 80 meter in the next 40 second, 45 meter in the last 20 second. What is the average speed of the person? अच्छे सोपा प्रश्न है तो. Here we have given the distance swam in the first 40 second, d1 is equals to 100 meter. Next distance d2 is equals to next 40 second, d2 is equals to 80 meter, and the last 20 seconds d3 is equals to 45 meter. Therefore the total time first मध्ये किती 40 second plus 40 plus 20, total is 100 second. We will find out the average speed. Therefore the formula for the average speed is equals to total distance covered upon total time required. Now the formula, what is that? Average speed is equals to 100 plus 80 plus 45, and their total is 225, and sum of the total time is 100 divided by 100, that is a 225 upon 100. 2 decimal आपण इथे left ला येणार, and that is you will get here 2.25 meter per second. Okay. And hence the average speed of the person is 2.25 meter per second. Okay. And in this way we have completed the first exercise of the chapter first, that is the laws of motion. Now we'll see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.